Today's topic is?
It's not that simple.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
What do you want?
I gotta go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to
Waypan.
I'm Cal.
And I'm Sunny.
Today's topic is...
What do you want to get out of the hobby?
You don't have to say it like an accusation.
No.
So, we were talking about this because of first impressions and that video, and I asked during the creation of that, do you think you would have liked the hobby more if perhaps...
It was more like old hammer, right?
Yeah.
But what we are trying to get at is, why are you hobbying specifically? We can give you some examples here, right? Sometimes maybe you really just want to play the game.
Yeah.
And you're in the hobby because you want to play the game. And when you want to play the game, that comes with the painting aspect of things. But you start painting... and then you don't really feel like you enjoy it anymore.
You get no pleasure out of the actual painting. But let's say you don't want to have a bunch of grey plastic, right? But you do like building the models.
Yes.
Right? Well, why don't you just get a commission painter to do them up? Or let's say that you just hate all of the hobby aspect, right? You hate all of like
the building and the doing of the things. You just want to get into the playing of the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Do the same. Just buy a kit, give to Guy, and get him to do it up. Do you want to punish yourself in order to have some pleasure?
Yeah. What is the pro versus con ratio? Is it more pro than con or more con than pro? If it's more con than pro, then maybe you need some reevaluation, my friend.
The reason why we have this topic is because we think a lot of people may not actually realize why they're in this hobby. They might come into it only now are they going, yeah, I just don't like the painting. He's right. I don't like the painting.
That is something I would like to talk about, is that when I've gone to the Warhammer store with you, most of the guys there, they're all talking about the game.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I went talk to you, but I don't know anything about the game. I'm just here for the painting. And then I start talking about the painting, and they're not able to keep up with the conversation as much because that's not what they're into. They're more about the game.
Yeah, well, it depends. Like, so for example, at our local store, right, when you talk about painting, people are more into the painting aspect, aren't they? So I guess, it depends on your audience, depends on where you are, that sort of thing.
But like, I'm trying to relate it back to like, that's their purpose for the hobby. Like, I'm interested in playing the game. I'm interested in the painting aspect of things. And that helps me feel good. And that helps you feel good. That sort of thing. Like you said, if you are that person, I'm just in it for the playing of the game, you don't like the painting and the building, just get someone else to do it for you.
Yeah.
You're already spending so much money on the game set. Why not spend just a little extra to get it done up?
Yes.
know?
And see, this is what I was trying to get at. Let's take a look at it as the reverse. Let's say that you don't like playing the game at all.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there. You don't have to play the game, right? Like, Games Workshop doesn't even truly consider itself a games company anymore.
Oh, really?
No. You take a look at their statements, you take a look at how they approach things, and the game is almost always secondary. They're like, we produce luxury models for people to collect and paint.
Well, okay, here's one thing. Do you think that perhaps the perception of the hobby, because of that, because the company has kind of sort of made it in such a way that it's more about the painting, that if people aren't doing the painting part of it, they get put down? And then they kind of get pressured into...
I think it just depends much more on your local area, right? So, I'm going to go into my psychology background for a bit. One of the things that I studied was body image, right? And the thing was, there was this perception that magazines and that sort of thing affected women's body image and TV and all of that, right?
Yeah.
But that effect was much less than their peers.
Okay, I don't understand.
Okay, so the effect of TV, the effect of magazines, or mass media in general, that paled in comparison to their peers. So
like what the peers thought of them was more...
So
it affected them more than what the TV was telling them.
Yes.
Right.
So, like, it doesn't matter what Games Workshop is saying. Like, if everybody says you have to have painted models, right? Like, they're going to be like, oh, I better have painted models. By the same token, right, it doesn't matter if Games Workshop's like, oh, you need to have painted models. They're like, no. All of the heavy guys just have to be red. All of the assault guys have to be blue.
Right.
That's what we do here,
Yeah.
right? People will just get out a spray can and do that because that's what the group sort of
wants.
Yeah.
Because the culture influences the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that is also kind of something to consider, right? Is the masses the one influencing what you like in the hobby when it's actually not really the same as your interest?
Yeah.
Right? So like that's something you've got to sort of sit down and think about, because it's very, very easy for humans. We are social creatures.
Yes.
We follow the crowd. That is kind of inevitable, and it's very difficult for us to pull ourselves back and go,
It's
is
a
that
survival instinct.
Yeah. Is that the crowd or is that me?
Yeah, and the thing is, okay, let's say that you don't like a certain aspect of the hobby. That is completely fine, right?
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter if your group likes that. Now, let's say that everybody has to have painted models in your area. Just get a commission painter to do it anyway, right? And then you're like,
okay, look, I meet the minimum requirement.
yeah. And like, that's the thing, right? Or let's say the game is all consuming. I'm going to throw it out there. There are a lot of internet communities out there, from Evia Metal on Facebook to like a whole Twitter sphere. I'm going to take that back. I don't recommend Twitter.
Anyhow,
Tidorus.
I will not put an imagery to express that line. But anyway, yes, there is a whole sphere of like online community that's catered specifically to
painting. Or gaming or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So let's say that you don't like what your local area likes. Find your own community.
Find your own that is more into what you are into.
And like, let's say that your local community isn't a gaming one. There are tournament scenes. Let's say you have to travel, an hour. So what?
Yeah, it's your free time. You decide what you do with your free time.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, as a conclusion, is what we're going to say is, apart from figuring out exactly what part of the hobby you are interested in and focusing your attention on that, you need to ultimately keep this in mind. Am I doing this to torture myself, or am I doing this for pleasure in free time? Because that's what a hobby is.
Yeah, I think last time we tried this recording, the thing you said was, look, are you painting with a purpose? If you're painting to get your stuff on the table, paint to get your stuff on the table. Don't paint as if it's a competition piece.
Yeah, then you're just going to put unnecessary pressure and expectation on yourself, and then that derails the goal altogether. And then you're just like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Exactly. Why are you doing this?
And find out what you like, right? Find out where you should be putting your efforts. We all have limited time here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Find what brings you pleasure.
And just focus on that. Don't care about all those other things. What do you want?
Yeah.
What do
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
I don't know.
It's not
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
All right, everybody.
Keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye.
I gotta go.
I gotta go.